Hello, everyone. From Reinvented. So we are here, another perfect day, and with a very great guest. We have Sanaz Hosseini, yoga and meditation teacher, and we're gonna talk about success habits of entrepreneurs. I know with changing habits, many things can change. We can change our lifestyle or health, or even we can have a great transition from one job to another. Because this is a great example talking to Sonas because she already had a big transition from engineering field to yoga teacher and great example for someone who used the opportunity in COVID, as I did. And she actually has her own studio and her own students. And let's just get into it and talk to her. Welcome to my show, Sanas.
Thank you so much for having me, Pantea. That's an honor to be on your show. And so my background is engineering. I've done electrical biomedical engineering. I've studied management, and I have worked in the field for many years. And I worked in marketing, product marketing, and other aspects of marketing. But I've also always loved to. I was curious about making my life better. So, and I was doing yoga since I was a teenager, and that was just out of sheer luck because my one of my close friends have her parents were yoga teachers, and I got to become familiar with yoga at a very early age, and I continued that trend. Not that like I was sticking to it all the time, but I was doing it on and off, and then when the opportunity came to become a yoga teacher, I became a yoga teacher, and I really, really love and enjoy doing that.
So, in your bio, you said you are not doing your engineering field anymore, right?
So I haven't worked in that field for over 2 years, 2 years, almost 2 years. And so I actually got laid off from my job for a funny reason.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, which was basically I couldn't travel to US because of my background being an Iranian. There was a travel ban that Trump put, and so I couldn't travel, and my work mainly involved traveling. So that's why, like, the company that told me that we are so sorry, we can no longer having you. So that's where I actually focus mainly on my yoga practice, and on the side, I was doing the marketing work. So I did do the marketing, but helping more of like small businesses and startups with their business plans, and more of like the word of mouth kind of thing, that like getting clients this way. But main focus was on my yoga, and it wasn't that like at the beginning that I thought I'm gonna start my own business. No, I was teaching for other studios, and I was teaching for the city classes, the city that I live in. So they have different classes, and so I was teaching there. I was teaching at the studio, and then the COVID hit. Yeah, and that's when the studios closed down. The city closed on all the programs, and our studio, they couldn't afford paying the rent, and it didn't make sense. So they closed down, and then it forced me to take my business in a way in a different level, because when you're working for studios, you are doing your own business, but not still, you don't understand what's involved in doing your own business. And then I decided that I'm going to start Sansa Yoga, and that's where I got into the nitty gritty of running your own business.
Yeah, that's so exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, it-
Even, I believe in any situation, there is an opportunity. Like
definitely.
COVID was not good for many people because they have been laid off and they had to start something else. And some people who already get used to having the habit of getting the pay slip, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's so difficult when you don't.
Oh, I
right?
can attest to that. Definitely.
Exactly,
It
yeah,
is
because I had the same
scary.
situation. Since 2009, I tried to be an entrepreneur. But then another contract happened, another, and then I stayed there in a loop.
Yeah, I understand.
Until then, the COVID hits. I mean, I had my baby and I couldn't work anymore, and I had the COVID hits, and I said, okay, that's the right time to do whatever I wanted to do. So,
Definitely.
yes. So, tell me about the difference and the feeling that you have right now when you are running your own studio and when you work in a managing department.
Um, well, I like both sides of the work. They're all challenging. They are both rewarding, uh, but in a very different way. So when you work for another company, you have this job description and it is limited. As far as like if you work for a startup, you can expand your role a little bit. But as when you're working 9 to 5, this is your job description and you do the work. And that is wonderful. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. You can feel very fulfilled and successful in that. But when you start running your own business, oh God, it's not 9 to 5 anymore. So if you want to be successful, you gotta give it all, and you can't be just doing 9 to 5. And you actually, unfortunately, the hours extend, and in a way, it gives you flexibility, much more flexibility than when you're 9 to 5. But at the same time, you understand that there's so many little things that I have to do it myself. If I worked for my employer, they were taking care of so many things. There are so many departments that doing all the little details. Now I'm doing my accounting, planning, marketing, sales, customer service, everything. You have to be organized and you have to be doing it all. And then you start appreciating your coworkers and the
Yes.
wonderful work that they did and the team that you had. And but it is definitely a different sense and different challenge and different excitement.
I think you are lucky because you had marketing background.
Yeah,
The most important thing entrepreneurs struggle with is marketing.
definitely marketing and sales. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh, but
exactly.
but for me, when I worked in the corporate field, I worked for product marketing and a focus on business to business. When I work for my yoga business, it is a different focus. It's business to
Service,
consumers.
yeah, and it's
And
service
then
oriented.
yeah, and then I also work more on social media. While at work, our focus on social media was LinkedIn at that time. Now companies are catching up. But when I work for myself, I had to learn. So I use my marketing background, but I had to learn so much more. So I invested time and money in learning more techniques, connecting with experts, and learning and helping other people to grow their marketing business as well. So it is like an ongoing process. You can never say that now I'm an expert, I figured everything out, and I can do it all. No.
Exactly. Marketing is one of the most challenging part of the business.
It is. It is.
I really wish you to give us some recommendation as somebody who is already there about the marketing and how, as somebody who doesn't have any background in marketing, how can we do this and what do you recommend?
So definitely, I can give you some pointers, but one of the things I want to tell you first is that do reach out to experts and ask for help. So there are lots of free resources out there, and you can learn so much by taking courses, free courses. I'm not talking about paid courses, free courses, reading really good material that's available online, reaching out to experts, people who have experience like me. I am definitely, I help people. So if people reach out to me, I have given 1 hour to people, consulting, giving them pointers on how they start. And the first hour is always like, I don't charge anyone. And if you have a specific question that doesn't take me much time, I would definitely give back to you. So don't be afraid of reaching out and asking. And if you have time, spend the time, read, learn. Like the city that I live in, the government of Canada has lots of free resources for marketing. So if you have the time, patience, because you also need to have patience, and you need to read, learn, practice it, and find what works for your business. But if you don't have the time, definitely invest in hiring someone, hiring an expert. And it doesn't have to be expensive. There are experts out there that specialize in small services, people like me, that are not charging a lot of money. There are companies, bigger companies, that provide services for, they're affordable. There are lots of affordable options. It doesn't have to be tens of thousands of dollars or anything. It can be like small monthly investment that can get the ball rolling. If you can learn, by all means, go and read. There are tons of great information out there for free, lots of resources.
Yes, thanks for your recommendation. But before marketing, I believe you should have a great foundation. You need to clarify what you're going to do exactly and
Definitely.
have a niche, a narrow
Definitely.
niche exactly to concentrate on what your market is, what your audience is. Because the problem is, if when you generalize it, then it's going to be very difficult to
Absolutely.
find the right audience.
Absolutely, I agree with you. When you initially asked me, how can you start your own business? My the first thing I was like, okay, so you got to find an idea that first of all is appealing to you. So yoga and meditation is something that I love, and I love teaching it. And marketing is also the exciting, challenging part. So find what you love to do, and then figure out where are the gaps, and where, because there are lots of solutions out there. So how can you fit your, as you said, find a niche and your expertise and what you have into that niche. And the other thing is that you don't have to like do it all, and you need to focus on like a smaller section. It doesn't have to be like a huge big opening. So when I started my yoga teaching, I started with one class a week and then I gradually expanded it, and now I have more students. uh, but you don't have to start like a huge investment and everything big, so you can start small.
Exactly. So, tell me about success habits of entrepreneurs.
So the reason I chose that was, so in my yoga and meditation practice, I get super excited about it, and I want everybody to come and do yoga and do meditation. And then I realized there's lots of different reasons that people tell me why they don't want to do yoga. This is outside the scope of this talk because there are many different reasons, and I always have something for them. But one of them is that they say they don't have time. So, what I always tell them is that, okay, if you don't have time, it's not about time, it's about your priorities. What are your priorities? And you should look at this as whether this is a priority for you, and look at it as this is my well being, this is my health. So, it doesn't have to be yoga meditation. I say it needs to be mindfulness and movement. So you got to have mindfulness and movement daily habits. And that is also very essential for any entrepreneur, because entrepreneurs, their life gets hectic. Depending on the level of your operation, life can be super hectic, and you need to do juggle lots of hats. You need to do lots of different work, and then your health and well-being sometimes is the last thing it's like here, the last thing you think about. But if you are not healthy, if you're not healthy physically, mentally, you cannot be successful. That's why I call that like success habits of entrepreneurs, but basically it's the success habit for anyone. So daily movement and daily mindfulness, that's something that gets you successful in any field you are. So then the thing is, I started teaching mindfulness and yoga movements, some movements, and I realized I need to teach people building habits, because if they have a habit of movement and mindfulness, that just comes to them like this. They don't have to invest so much time, and they don't need to tell me, oh, I don't have time, I can't do this. You make them as a habit, so you do it every day. That's why I learned so much more about building habits, so that I can teach that to my students, so that I can help them to be successful.
Beautiful. So we have few second break and we come back soon.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Please subscribe to Pantea Kalhor Transition channel and order my book Rules of Change for the Better. Tune up your mood and transform your life to reach your biggest dreams. Actually, this book, Rules of Change for the Better, talk about habits.
Habits. Awesome.
And the interesting point of this is there are few stages of creating great life and great change, because that's about the change. And the last stage is maturity. What I'm saying maturity, because you create this life by habits. You can make a change for like temporary change, but if it's not your lifestyle, you're gonna lose it, right?
Definitely. Definitely.
Exactly,
I
like addiction,
absolutely
like
agree.
addiction. Some people who are addicted to smoking or some other stuff, after some time you say, okay, I'm gonna quit, but they're gonna get back to it again. Why? Because that change is not mature enough, because they didn't create habits and they didn't replace their bad habits with good one.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe that if you want to make a change in your life, you got to change your beliefs and habits. The belief part is like very challenging. It takes many years, and you got to work on it. And that's something I personally striving and working on. And then the habits are a little bit more accessible and easier to work on. That's why I started with teaching the habits part. But definitely, as part of my community on Facebook and Instagram, I want to help people not only to change their habits, but also gradually over the time change their beliefs, so that they change their life for better, for sure.
Exactly. Mindset. Yeah, mindset, shifting your mindset, really
Definitely.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna add something. If you have inspiration, because there are some stages. I think the first stage that we always miss is inspiration, creating something that inspire you every day. Let's say somebody who is going to quit the smoking says, because my daughter saw it for the first time, it was very painful, so I didn't want to continue smoking in front of
Mhm.
her, so that's why I started quitting smoking. So this is a great
Mhm.
inspiration and great motive, because if you have a great motivation, that is much easier to
Definitely.
change your habits.
Definitely. So, as a part of preparation for this talk, I was writing down what are the steps that I follow when I want to build a habit. And the
Yeah,
first one is like, what habit do I want to build and why? What is my motivation? If you don't have the motivation, oh my God, you don't have the fuel to propel you forward. Like you won't. Like you will stick to that habit for like 1 day and a half. Honestly, yeah. The first is like I always write down, okay, I want to build a daily meditation habit. Why? Because I know that is necessary for my mental health. I know that will gives me more energy. It makes me feel much better, more grounded. So that's the first step. But then the other steps that I usually do is that I really specify that when I want to do it, where I want to do it. And so let's say the first thing when I wake up in the morning, I want to do my meditation. Or like right before sleep, I want to do my meditation. So I schedule it and I know this is the time for my meditation. And I don't go big. And that's one of the things that I tell my students that like, oh, you don't have to sit and meditate for 30 minutes. We need to start from like 1 minute. Honestly, 1 minute, which actually I wanted to do as part of this. Like, here we can do like a 1 minute or like a 2 minutes of it, and you just can do it every day. And gradually, 1 minute becomes two, two becomes three, four, five. So I run meditation challenge in my Instagram and Facebook, and that's like what the instructions was. Just add like 1 minute, and not even every day. So like we would do 1 minute for a couple of days, then 2 minutes for a couple of days. So, but then it's important, as you said, that you know why you want to do it. Like first, you need to, if you don't believe in meditation, go and read about it. There's like lots of research done that supports this, and or anything. So if you want to build any habit, basically know why you want to do it, and then specify the time and the place, and make it tiny. Make it tiny, because otherwise you won't set yourself up for success. You want to be make it tiny so that you do it, and each time reinforce that like, I'm a winner, I can do this. Honestly, one of the great things that gives you fuel to go on, other than motivation, is that you see that you're doing it, and the success gets you going.
Yeah.
And these are all based on
Yes.
scientific research. It's not that like, even if you trial and error it yourself, which is I did, you see that it works. It works, and I definitely tell you that like, try all of this and see which ones work for you. The other thing is that like, reward yourself.
I
So
agree.
in like, after like 1 week of doing it, in our meditation challenge, we had the celebration, and you celebrate whatever way that you want to celebrate. So celebration is not like the cutting a cake and eating sweets. It could be, and it's not necessarily buying something expensive for yourself or buying anything. It could be that like, I give myself like an hour of me time. I just go sleep, or I just go have a bath, or I make a cup of my favorite tea and sit down and do nothing. Anything that is celebration for you, or like you play music and you dance, anything. So that's like another thing. And the other one is have self-compassion, because there are days that you're not going to do it. And I'm like that. Like, I don't meditate every day, but I don't beat myself up for not doing it. And I, not that I haven't done it before, yeah, now I've learned to have self-compassion. If I can't do it, I if I haven't done it today, that's okay. There's tomorrow. I get back to it. But it's important to stick to a habit at the beginning. That's the other caveat, that like, you want to stick to it for a good while to really make that habit stick. Some people say it's like 21 days, some people say 60 days, but it depends on the habit. If you're doing like a meditation habit, which is like a smaller habit, like for 1 minute, 2 minutes, I think 21 days would work. But like bigger habits, you need 60, 90, many more days.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because the maturity level is different and the habits is different. But the like brushing the teeth, right? That's a very small habit, right?
Yeah.
But if I don't brush my teeth, I cannot sleep because I get used to it, right?
No, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's another really good thing, that a segue to another method of habit building is habit stacking. You just mentioned it at the beginning, that you want to find the current habits that you have and then add that habit on top, stack it on top of that habit. So like meditation, you always brush your teeth before sleeping. So I meditate for 2 minutes before my brushing, after my brushing. There are many techniques that you can use, and there are
Exactly.
many good books that you can read about habit building.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, we have 5 minutes to go. Just going through your website. What do you do inside your website? You have Instagram and
I
Facebook
have
page and
Instagram and
website.
Facebook page, and I have not created a website because definitely that's something that I should create, but it hasn't been my focus because I wanted to start small and gradually, step by step, add more. And definitely down the road, I like my plan. So I have a long term, short term plan, and a long term plan. So, which I recommend that you have a business plan and have a plan is to have my YouTube channel. And these are all things that gradually I will add because I don't want to make myself all frustrated and stressed. I want to enjoy this business. I want this business to be something that I would have for the rest of my life.
I like this because that's what I doing too. You can't have everything together. And the
No,
problem with social media is that never finish, and you waste your time creating content everywhere, and you are losing your
yes,
concentration.
definitely. You
But
need to
if
be
you have
focused.
a great, even Facebook, a lot of people only work with Facebook and they have great success. Some people focus on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I had some business owners just work with LinkedIn and don't bother themselves with other social media.
definitely.
And some people go with Instagram. I'm not really good with Instagram. I just started, but even with starting Instagram, I have a lot of followers, so I really proud of it. But my most focus is on Facebook because
Definitely.
you can have lots of great connection with your audience and doing a lot of live program on Facebook. So the problem is some people go for perfection. They're gonna have everything in the beginning like Facebook, Instagram, and website, and then they cut there. They cannot do anything.
Yeah, you get overwhelmed. You get overwhelmed
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
amount of work, and especially at the beginning, because you don't understand how much time content creation is actually, how time consuming is. Like any challenge that I have on my page, I spend hours thinking about it and creating
Exactly.
content, and these all take a lot of time. So that's why, like I say, like tiny habits. I created a habit of posting on my social media every day, almost every day. So sometimes I have more posts, sometimes I have a little bit less, but consistency is
Exactly.
really,
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
yeah,
Like I actually force myself to do my podcast every day. I post my podcast. Those are which is already uploaded in YouTube. I created as a podcast. So every day I have something except weekends. So I try to
Mhm.
dedicate more time with my family during the weekend
Yeah.
because then I'm gonna be burned out.
Oh yeah,
You
wonderful.
shouldn't
Oh,
be.
you actually need to schedule your rest as well, and you
Exactly.
gotta consider that. I'm very bad with that, but I've been trying to really schedule short breaks for myself during the day, not just like having Sunday off, which I don't teach on Sundays. But also like mini breaks during the day. That is one of the things that I'm trying to build that habit. And as you said, like anything, if you want to be successful, you got to build habits so that it's easier for you. You just do it automatically after a while.
Yeah. Do you have any freebies to give
Yes.
my audience? Okay.
If anybody needs to have like a talking about marketing for small businesses, they can reach out to me. The first hour, we talk about the strategy. I get to know you, and it's all free of charge. And going forward, I can. I'll always talk to people and see what is affordable to them. I also, for my yoga meditation classes, you can always come for the first session and try it out, because I want you to get a sense of if the class is good for you, if my style of teaching is good for you, because and not everybody clicks with everybody. So you got to be coming and trying it and see if it's good for your taste, basically.
Do you still have physical classes or all
No,
you?
everything is through Zoom. From last
Beautiful.
March, everything has been through Zoom.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is Zoom based and virtual based.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't set my foot in a studio for a year. Yeah,
Yeah.
every class, every so I have a class every day except for Sundays, as I said, it's my rest day. And there are students that come regularly, and there are that come and go. So it depends on your schedule and what you want to achieve.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you so much,
So
Sana, for being
before
here.
we finish,
Oh,
I
sorry. Yes.
just want to do that, teach people that 1 minute, that
Oh,
one
yeah,
minute
yeah,
of
yeah.
prayer.
Please go
Yeah.
ahead. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
all I want you to do is to sit comfortable. So sometimes it's like it's good that your back is on your chair and your hand can be on your lap or anywhere that's comfortable. And then if you like, you can close your eyes or lower your gaze down and then just feel your body, the connection of your body with the chair. This can be done seated on the ground or sitting on a chair or anywhere you are. Just feel your body and the connections it has with your chair. And feel your breath. Just pay attention where you feel your inhales and exhales. Some people just feel it on their shoulders. Some people feel it on their nostrils. If you're a mouth breather, you're feeling it from your mouth. Now put one hand on the chest, the other hand on the belly, and make your inhales a little bit bigger. Don't tense the body is relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. You just make the inhale a little bit bigger and the exhale a little bit longer. That's all you need to do. Okay, wonderful. You can slowly open your eyes, and that was just 1 minute.
Yeah, beautiful. You see?
Yeah, one
Habit,
minute.
a 1 minute habit. Yeah.
Do
Great.
1 minute of this. You can do it every hour. You can do it once a day. Just like really feeling your breath, your chest expanding and going down. That's all you need to do. And that's the simple mindfulness exercise.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you so much for
No
being here.
problem.
Oh,
It was my honor. Thank you.
thanks.